Hello there, my name is Madi, and today we will be discussing the benefits of trade. First, I'll go over some general examples of how trade can benefit parties, and then we'll go into a specific example and show a situation where two nations are trading with each other. So let's begin. First of all, some of the very basic benefits of trade include greater efficiency, as countries can specialize in producing goods in which they have a comparative advantage in, thus allowing them to use their resources more efficiently. Second, it allows countries to access a greater variety of goods. For example, us in Canada, we cannot really grow pineapples, but fortunately, we can trade with nations who can. Third, this will lower our costs and prices for products. By allowing specialization to occur, competition will reduce production costs, and thus we pay less as consumers. Fourth, economic growth. As trade expands markets for producers and can boost innovation, investment, and job creation, economies of nations engaged in trade will grow. Finally, mutual gains. Trading ensures that all parties that are engaged in trade gain from the trade. Now we'll go into a specific example of trade between Canada and England. So, for the sake of argument, Canada and England each have 100 hours of labor which they can utilize. Canada only needs 10 hours to construct a plane and 5 hours to grow a peach. England, on the other hand, needs 20 hours to construct a plane and 4 hours for a peach. As you can see in the diagram here, we show each country's production possibility frontiers, showing what amounts of each product they could produce if they were acting alone. On the right side, we can read the comparative advantage each country holds. As you can see, Canada has a comparative advantage in planes, and England has a comparative advantage in peaches. Now we'll go into the trade example. Here, you can see that when each country is acting alone, Canada can only produce 5 planes and 10 peaches, while England can produce 2.5 planes and 12.5 peaches. Now, if they specialize, Canada can produce 10 planes and England produces 25 peaches. By engaging in trade with each other, we can see that Canada trades 4 planes to England in exchange for 12 peaches. This may seem like a silly trade, but this is just an example. Now, as you can see in the bottom row, in total, Canada gains 1 plane from the trade and 2 peaches. England, on the other hand, gains 1.5 planes from this trade and half a peach. So as you can see, everybody is better off after trading. Finally, if we look at the new production possibility frontiers for each country after trade, we can see those new points, X's on the middle of the screen, are where the countries are at after engaging in trade, which both of them show that the countries are better off specializing in trading with each other as they have a higher total amount of goods. Thank you for watching. These are my sources.